And I feel like lately a lot of people are talking about social media. Is social media worth it? I feel like when I started out, people are like, don't bother. Nobody comes in because of your social media post. They just want to make sure that you're a real person. They're like trying to vet that you actually have a presence, but it doesn't actually attract new people. I guess what's your take on that?
Yeah, so I feel like with social media, it works for a certain kind of a person.
Okay.
And that is where somebody who likes to constantly post on there, because it isn't something that tends to work as well if you just post here and there.
Hmm.
And then you end up feeling like I don't want to do it, right? So
Yeah.
so that is one thing. And another thing is that social media, I feel like the hype about the return for the amount of time and energy you put into it is a lot lower than is really talked about.
Yeah.
Like there's this I feel like there's this general idea of like when people hear about social media, they're like, oh yeah, I gotta do something about my social media.
Yeah.
And yet I do know people who don't have a social media presence. Like one of our acupuncturist clients didn't really have much of a social media presence. She was at seven figures.
Hmm.
And she's like, I think I'm going to get on social media now more. I don't really know how to do it.
Yeah.
So at that point, and she's like, oh, maybe I will do it. But she had a seven-figure practice already.
Yeah.
And, I think one thing about it is that popularity on social media doesn't equate to being successful in practice and having a good number of patients in practice doesn't equate to income in practice. And so this talk of like, oh, you got to build your following and everything like that. There are plenty of people who are very successful without having touched social media very much. And so bottom line, I think it really depends on what your personality is like and whether you like it or not. Like if you don't, if you dread it every time you've got to go come up with some creative post and post it, then it's probably not your strategy. And then also, I will say, like I just mentioned, the amount of effort put in for the level of results is usually on the lower side comparatively to some of the other approaches that our clients come to us for. Like if we just dial in one or two approaches, and like you don't need to be having this be an a constant thing you've got to do. But if you really enjoy it, then yeah, go for it. And always go for strategies that you enjoy. And because then people will pick up on it too, right? Have you ever seen people who post on social media and you could just kind of tell that they're just doing their one post a day because they feel like they
Yeah.
have to post one,
Yeah.
right? People can tell the
Yeah.
difference. So yeah. But so if you want to go the social media route, what I will say is this. So back in the day, just to give you an example of one platform, you could post on Facebook in your business page, and most of the people who liked your business page would see it. But nowadays, you post on your business page, like they've done studies on this, less than 3.5% of the people who like your page might even see it. And why is this? It's because they are like they make their money through ads. So once they got people hooked onto Facebook, now it's like if you're not paying for money for ads, then you may not have as big of a reach on your Facebook business page. This is an example, right? So some people are like, well, maybe I'll go to my personal page. Yes, personal page would work better than in business page. But then if we look at, for example, Instagram, right?
Hmm.
Instagram just announced in the last year or so, like in their upper executives, they're like, we're going to be more of a video platform.
Yeah.
So they're favoring video. And what does this mean? So if you are on social media and then you're not doing video stuff, down the road it's increasingly becoming such that your posts aren't going to get seen as well if it's not with video. So then it's like, well, do you want to be doing constant videos? So again, this is the kind of thing that of how to do this kind of decision making about what approach to take. Whereas, for example, when our clients come to us for other approaches, we just get the one thing in place, and sometimes even on autopilot too. For example, with the speaking side, I think you can even put that on autopilot, and you don't have to always be constantly posting on social media.
Yeah, I've definitely experienced that lately with Facebook. That's definitely become pay to play now. That I could have a page with 3,000 followers and I post something, and you can see on the insights that maybe only 50 people see it. That they really want you to spend money to boost the post, even to get your followers to see it. So I guess along those lines, are there other things that you think have changed in the last 10 years or so since in terms of getting patients in the door? Like I remember people when I was starting out, people were talking about like Groupon.